Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to learn some of the important math functions. So let's start the video. Now let's learn the basic function, the maths functions. Maths functions. Okay, so the first one which we are going to study is ABS, or you can say this is absolute. Absolute. Now, what does that mean? This function says that if you give me a value, either it is a positive or a negative, I'm going to return you the positive version. Now, what does that mean? Say for if you want absolute of 5, it would be 5 only. Absolute of minus 5, it would be 5 only. Okay, so the thing is absolute only considers the value. It only considers the value, not the sign. Okay, coming over to the next one. The next one is sign. Now, sign actually tells you the sign of the input. Now, what does that mean? See, if in sign you give an input as 50, it will give you 1 as the output. If you give 0, you'll receive 0. If you'll give negative, that is minus 50, you'll receive minus 1. So it means that if your value is in the range, it is positive. For all the positive values, it will give 1. For 0, it will give 0. And for negative values, it will give minus 1. Cut. Resume. Coming over to the next one. The next one is floor. Oh, so if you'll give a value in floor, it will give you an output as an integer. Now, what would be that integer? We'll tell you. It will give you an integer as output. Say for if you give a value 4.3, okay, it will give you 4. Okay, now what does that means? If you give a decimal value, what will happen? It will only give you the integer part, or you can say say for, let's take an example, 4.8. Then also it will give you 4 only. Floor will actually give you the integer part only of the number. Say if it is 0.81, then it will give 0. Okay. Don't worry, we'll come over to the demo part, then you'll understand it very clearly. Coming over to the next one is seal. It gives the just greater integer, just greater integer, or you can say the next integer. Say for 4.3, it will give you 5. For 4.5, again it will give you 5. For 4.8 also it will give you 5 only. For 0.81 it will give you 1. Okay, coming over to the next one. The next one is rand, or you can say random. Now what does random gives? Random does not take an input. First of all, it does not take an input. Every time you write rand, it will give you a random value. And what would be the range of that random value? It will always be in the range of 0 to 1. Okay, in the range of 0 to 1. Coming over to the next one, that is power function, or you can say this is power function. Now, what is the use of power function? If you are a little bit familiar with Java or C++, or you can say DSA, then you might be knowing that power function is used to calculate the exponent. Let's suppose if I want something as 2 to the power x. Okay, we cannot write it straight away. We have to write it like this: power 2 comma x, and which means that 2 raised to the power x. I'll take one example, say for power 3 to the power 3. So it is nothing but 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. That is 3 being multiplied 3 times. Had it been 3 raised to the power 4, then we would have made it 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. This would be 4 times. Okay, keep this thing in mind. Coming over to the next one. Next one is SQRT, or you can say square root function. It will give you the square root of input. Now, what does square root means? You all might be familiar with this term, but if you are not, I'll give you a little bit explanation. Say for if I want square root of 5. So square root of 5 means that it will give you a number x such that when that number x is squared, then that will give an output 5. Okay, so in other words, you can say this also, that x square is equal to 5, then find the value of x. So x would be square root of 5. Okay, coming over to the next one. Next one is pi function. Now pi, most of you might be familiar with this. This is a constant value, that is 3.1415 and so on. This is widely used in the cases of areas and parameters. Okay, coming over to the next one, that is round. Now round, it gives you the round off value. Now how does this works? Let's take an example. Say for if I have a number 4.3. Okay, so it works like this, that if after decimal the number is greater than 5, then the next integer. Okay, for 4.3, because it is because 3 is less than 5, so it will give you 4. For 4.8, because this is greater than 5, it will give you 5. So this is what round off value. So these were some basic functions. Now we'll quickly move on to the demo part. So what would be the first one we need to do? That is absolute. I'll quickly switch on my workbench. Okay, for this, I don't think so we need any sort of table or database. We'll just print it straight away. For absolute, we can write select absolute of 5 as value. This as is known as alias, about which we'll learn in the later videos also. See, value is 5. Had it been minus 5, then also it would have given you 5 only. Let's check it for some decimals. 4.3685 as it is. If you put a minus, then also it will only consider the value. Okay, coming over to the next one. What is our next one? Next is sign. Okay, so if we want, let's suppose we want the sign of this number only. Sorry, sign. Execute this query. See, as I told you, for negative numbers it will give you -1. And what about the positive numbers? See, it will give you 1 for that. And now what about 0? For 0 it will give you 0 only. Okay, so this is the use of sign function. Let's come over to the next one. The next one is floor. So let's suppose we want the floor of 4.356789. So it will give 4. Okay, even if you want to try this, we can try this also. If the number is this 4.99999, then also it will give 4 only. Had it been seal, then it would have given you 5. Okay, coming over to the next one. Okay, next one is seal only. So let's suppose we want for seal. For seal, we'll start with this 4.01. See, it is giving you 5. That is the next integer. But if it was 4 only, let's see. Then for 4, it will give you 4 only. But if the number was just greater than 4, say for 0, 0, 0, 0, and then I put a 1. See, you get a value 5. And till when you'll get a value 5, for this value also, you'll get the value 5 only. Okay, but if we change it to 5, then also it will give you the value 5 only. Coming over to the next one. What is the next one? That is rand. Okay, select rand. See, it is giving you value in the range of 0 to 1, and it is not like this is a fixed value. Every time you run this query, you'll get a different value. See, every time I'm running, it is giving me a value, different value in the range of 0 to 1. A different value, a different value, a different value, a different value. So now because this is in the range of 0 to 1, what if we want it to be in the some different range? Say for I want it here, it should be in the range of 0 to 10. So no worries, multiplied by 10. See, 0 to 10, 0 to 10, 1, 7.5, 3.5, 5.1. What about 0 to 100? Just multiply it. But if somebody says that, yeah, this would be for starting from 0 only. What if I want something to be in the range of 5 to 7? Now the question arises, how will you execute it? First of all, the first thing would be, yeah, if I multiply it by 7, then it would be 0 to 7 only, but I want it in the range of 5 to 7. Then how it is possible? See, firstly, we'll decode it, how we are going to write this. For 5 to 7, what we can do is, we know that our range goes from 0 to 1. Okay. So first of all, find the difference between this. Difference between 5 and 7 is 2. So first of all, multiply this by 2. If you multiply, it will become 0 to 2. Now, after this, add 5. It will automatically become 5 to 7. Let's check it out. 0 to 1 multiplied by 2. Later on, add 5. 5, 6, 5, 6, 6. See, I'll only get the values in the range of 5 to 7. With the help of random, it is not limited to 0 to 1. With the help of operators, you can change the range of values which you want according to your need. Okay, coming over to the next one, that is power function. So for power, we straight away write 2 to the power 3. 2 to the power 3. It will give 2 into 2 into 2. That is nothing but 8. What if we want 2 to the power 30? That would be a very big number, somewhat in the range of 10 to the power 9. Okay, so this would be that number. Now, what if we talk about some decimals? Let it be 5 and it be 2.1234. Let's see. See, it is giving you the value in the range of decimals only. What if we take 2.0001? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this would be somewhere more closer to 32 only. See. Okay. So this is the use of power function. Let's come over to next one. That is square root function. Say for we want the square root of a number. Say we want the square root of 5. See, square root of 5 is 2.23. But somebody says you that, oh no, we want it in a perfect integer value only. Okay. So for that, what you can do is you can write floor for it. Okay. Floor would actually give you 2. Or otherwise, you can write seal. But there would be one problem. What problem would be there? I'll tell you. See, if before coming to this, let's come over to, okay. So let's suppose if we take the square root of 5, it is somewhat 2.23. If we take the square root of 6, it will get more tend towards 3. That would be, it is, if I'm not wrong, it is 2.45. If I talk about square root of 7, then it would be 2.7 or something. Okay. If we talk about square root of 8, it would be 2.83. So the thing is, if I assign this as an integer 2, it would be fine because it is close to 2. If I assign this as 2, then yeah, it is fine. It is more closer to 2. But I cannot assign it as 2, no, because it is much closer to 3. And this is also closer to 3, so I cannot assign 2 to it. But what if I take the seal value? Then all of these value will become 3, 3, 3, 3. For these two values, it is fine. But for this one, again, we have an issue because this value is much more closer to 2 as compared to 3. And this value also. So for that, what we can do is we can use the round off function also. Okay, which I have taught you here. Square root, now use round. See, it is 2. If I take 6, then also it should be 2. But if I take 7, then it should be 3. See, for 8 also, it will give you value 3. So, this would be more precise for calculating the square root in integer as compared to floor and seal. Okay. So now square root function is done, which is next, that is pi. Okay, say if we want straight away the value of pi. See, this is the value as I told you, 3.141593. This is a basic value, or you can say a fixed value. Okay. Come over to the next one. What is next? Round off. I told you previously also, but okay, no issues. We'll try one more example. Round of 3.5.234. It is 5 only. Now tell me, what is the round of 4999? It would be 5 only. Round of 5.0, only just straight away 5.5. What do you think it would be? If you know the answer, please do write it in the chat before and pause the video. Okay, now let's execute this. See, it is 6. So for values that is 5.5, after point, if it is greater than or equal to 5, then it will give the next integer only. Okay, we can see it for any values. From range of 5.5 to just below 6, it will give 6 only. Okay, this is the function for say round. Now, if we use this round with a rand, what do you think it will give? It will always give 0, because mostly the values are in the range of 0 to 1 only. See, but sometimes it will give you 1 also. When? See, it gave you 1. All the values which were greater than 0.5 will be now 1. 0, 1, 0, 1. So this can also be used if somebody says to randomly generate 0 and 1 only. So this would be the way to randomly generate 0 and 1. And we know that there would be a limitation. If we use the floor value, every time we'll get 0 only. And otherwise, if we just use ceil, then also every time we'll get 1 only. But if we use round, we'll get alternatively. Cannot say alternatively, but yeah, at some point of time you'll get 1, but later on you'll get 0 also and 1. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay, there is no fixed pattern for this because the numbers are getting randomly generated. Okay, so I guess that's all. Hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please do share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.